Hi Coppell artists, I'm Ms. Chen and I teach art at Denton Creek Elementary. I know that many of you are virtual artists this year at home, and while many of our homes look different, it's important for us to take a few minutes just to kind of go over what will help you be successful in making art at home. It's important that we have the right space to focus, create, and have fun. The first thing to think about is the actual room or space in your home. So for example, I know that I won't get a lot done if I sit in the living room because my TV is there and it's very quick for me to just hop on Netflix or YouTube. So I work best in my office home. Now, I'm not in my office right now, I'm actually in my Denton Creek art room, but think about a space. Maybe it's your bedroom, maybe it's the kitchen table where it helps you focus. Maybe even outside in the backyard is where you focus best. So think about an area in your home that lets you focus on creativity and helps your productivity. The next really important step is to make sure your work area is organized. So you can see I've got quite a few things at my table, but everything has a home and a place. You can see it's all organized. My markers are in one place. I've got my supplies ready to go and they are handy close to me. But you can see my table is pretty clear where I have room for paper. I've got my technology ready and I am ready to focus. Let's talk about some common art supplies that you're going to need for virtual art. Now I know what you may be thinking next. What if I don't have a lot of art supplies at home? Or can I use this instead of that for this art project? My biggest answer to both of those questions is problem solve and get creative. So for example, if an art project is asking for paint, but you don't have paint at home, well, the main goal is to incorporate color in your artwork. So I do have crayons and markers, so use that. Sometimes Ms. Chen gets questions about really specific art supplies. So for example, we're painting for a project, but let's say I'm using watercolor paint and you have acrylic paint at home or tempera paint. The paint is different. As long as you have something similar or close to it, that's totally fine. But the main goal is to just try your best and use what you have. Don't feel like you have to go out and buy a bunch of art supplies just to be successful or make a beautiful artwork. And one of my favorite art supplies that we all already have is our iPad. So if you haven't used it before, there's an app called the Tayasui Sketches app, and it's awesome because in the app, it has every digital art supply you could think of. It has a ruler, it has oil pastels, it has pencil, paint, everything. So if you're ever feeling stuck on art supplies, like you just don't have any of it, do not worry. You can always make a digital version of that art project. You can download the Sketches app in Manager. There's actually two versions, so you can use the Pro version or just the regular Sketches School. Both are just great. The Sketches Pro has a few more additional art tools that make digital art really fun. One of the first important art supplies that we need to talk about is paper. Now you want to try avoid using notebook paper for any artworks. That is paper that has those blue lines all the way across. When we're making artwork, we want blank paper so it doesn't have anything already on it. Now I have two different papers here in front of me. They look pretty similar, but when you pick them up, they are actually pretty different. This is really thin paper. I would call it like copy paper or printer paper. This is paper that's pretty thin, that's good just for drawing with pencil or light coloring. The paper on the right is a lot thicker paper, so this would be great for painting. It's a lot thicker, so that means it could hold water and anything that would make the paper wet. Other paper that's really great for art is construction paper. So you can see I always keep a lot of scraps. I don't like to throw them away because I could find another use for another art project. On my desk, I like to keep these things really close by because I know I will use them often. So in my little basket, I've got crayons here. These are the twistable kinds, but regular crayons work just fine. I also have color pencils, washable markers, and I have scissors and liquid glue ready, but a glue stick will work just fine. I've got a permanent marker, or a Sharpie, and also a pencil with an eraser. The last two art supplies that I like to keep on hand is watercolor paints. I like to use these a lot because it's easy to clean and it comes with a brush. All I need to use is water to activate the colors, and also I have oil pastels. Now, if you don't have these at home, crayons will work just fine, but I like using these because sometimes they show up really bright on paper, especially construction paper, and they're very smooth and buttery to color with. So these are just some other additional art supplies that I like to keep on hand. I hope you found that helpful, and we're so excited to see what you create at home.